Let's be honest, you don't just want to be big just for the sake of being big. You want to look good, clothes on or off. You want to walk past the mirror and think, yeah, that's me. Broad shoulders, tight waist, defined chest, like sharp jawline, that aesthetic look. So I remember watching Fight Club for the first time. I must have been like 20, 21. And there's that scene where Brad Pitt is standing there in the basement having just battered someone. He's got blood dripping from his mouth and nose. He's shredded, he's confident. He doesn't say a word, but he owns the room. Like, he owns Fight Club. I was sitting there on my sofa halfway through a full Domino's pizza, and I remember thinking, why can't I look like that? The truth, I could, but I was doing everything wrong. Too much junk food, no structure, zero awareness of training for proportion or being lean. And more importantly, I had no belief that I could actually change. But let me tell you something important. An aesthetic body isn't about being the biggest guy in the gym or the biggest guy in the room. It's about shape. It's about balance, and it's about presence, okay? So that classic V-tapered look, you know, the illusion of width at the top and sort of tightness through the waist, like defined arms, like popping delts, like a striated chest, all sitting on a lean, athletic frame. Most guys chase muscle, but they forget the mirror doesn't care how strong you are. Aesthetics comes from smart training, eating right, and a laser focus on specific muscle groups that makes you look good, even if you don't weigh that much. So in today's video, I'm going to break down 7 secrets to building an aesthetic body, whether you're just starting out or whether you're an experienced lifter or whether you're stuck in that skinny fat middle ground. One important thing I need to mention is that this isn't about vanity. This is about identity. It's actually about becoming someone you're proud of, okay? Remember that. Let's get into it. So number 1, strength versus aesthetics. Know the difference, please, okay? Let me save you a few years of wasted effort. If your goal is to look good, stop training like you're preparing for a powerlifting meet. I spent years chasing numbers like bench press PRs, deadlift milestones, squat PBs. And don't get me wrong, like it felt good. I felt accomplished getting those lifts, but I still kind of look the same, like soft, unbalanced, weird looking guy in the mirror. And here's the truth, strength and aesthetics are not the same thing. If you want to build a body that actually looks impressive and is not just strong on paper, you need to train like a bodybuilder, not a powerlifter, okay? And it's not about how much you lift, it's about how well you lift, okay? So control, tension, execution. That means slowing down the eccentric or lowering phase, controlling the weight up and down, and actually feeling the muscle work, okay? I had to unlearn years of ego lifting to understand this. And one other thing, maxing out all the time, that stuff drains you. It's so fatiguing and it can actually cause injuries like I've experienced before. So you need to train for shape and not just for stats and numbers. Point number 2, the muscle groups that matter. Okay, so what does an aesthetic body really look like? Okay, it's subjective, but generally speaking, it's broad shoulders, full chest, a thick back and a tight waist, and strong legs as well. Don't forget the legs. And it's the proportions that matter as well. It's not just about the size, okay? You want that V-tapered silhouette, kind of like that superhero look. Think statue and not slab, all right? Now, some of us, like me, tend to store fat around the waist genetically, so that can make it harder to look lean. But it doesn't mean it's impossible. It just means that we need to focus on building width at the top and slimming the waist down. So let's talk about the 4 muscle groups and exercises for those. So number 1, delts or your shoulders. There's 3 parts, your anterior, your lateral, and your rear delts, okay? And the function of this muscle is to move your arm away from the midline or abduction, okay? The lateral delts, they are so important for that broad shouldered look, okay? They add width to your upper body, and most guys, they overtrain the front delts with too much pressing and they neglect the side delts, okay? So do cable lateral raises. Set the cable around knee height and allow for constant tension throughout the entire movement, okay? And that slight diagonal pull lines up perfectly with the muscle fibers of the lateral delts. So go light, go slow, and just focus on the squeeze. Overhead presses, they add denseness to your shoulders and they can really help you pack on size, especially when you do it with good form and control. And cable face pulls are good for your rear delts as well. Don't neglect those. Really useful exercise. Okay, so number 2 is chest. There's 2 muscles, pectoralis major and pectoralis minor. Now, pec major is the main muscle. It's the major one. It's a thick fan-shaped muscle, and its main function is to bring the upper arm across towards the midline, okay, that motion. And having a well-developed upper chest, it just adds fullness to your upper body, okay? It helps your chest pop and just flow smoothly into your shoulders. And without it, your chest can look bottom heavy, which is not a very good look in my opinion. So one of my favorite exercises for this is the dumbbell incline press. You get a massive stretch at the bottom, which can lead to more hypertrophy, especially in the upper pec fibers. And dumbbells, they give you a greater range of motion, so you can get a deeper stretch. And the movement's a bit more natural than doing barbell pressing. Dips are really good. They're so good for packing on size for your chest and triceps. If you want to activate your chest more to really light up your pecs, just lean forward slightly. And if you want the focus to be on your triceps, just try and keep more upright, okay, and tuck your elbows in a bit. Okay, so number 3, back. So a wide and thick back is quite literally the backbone of the aesthetic look. So from the rear, it creates that sort of winged out cobra shape, and from the front, it supports the like V-taper, because it sort of makes your lats flare and it kind of pushes your arms out a bit, so it gives you that appearance of looking bigger. Really important to not neglect the back, and pull-ups are the king of back width. If you master your body weight, that's great. Add weight if you're more advanced. Aim for a full range of motion, so get the chin above the bar, get a full stretch at the bottom, and lat pull downs are amazing as well. These are a staple in my back workouts. Rows are really good. They add thickness to the mid back and the rhomboids, which and the traps as well. And that gives your back depth and power and just gives you that 3D look, all right? Now, next point is legs. I won't spend too much time talking about this, but they are so important. You cannot skip legs if you want an aesthetic look, even though they're not part of the V-taper. Like, the proportion matters, okay? If you have small, underdeveloped legs, your silhouette just looks a bit weird. You know, you look top heavy and it's unbalanced. So I recommend squatting. I found it really good for leg growth, but if you're not a fan or you're injured, then I would just do Bulgarian split squats. These are so good for just lighting up your quads and your glutes, and they don't really load your spine like squats do, so there's that too. Romanian deadlifts are good for building hamstrings and glute density, and leg press sets are really good as well because they let you push heavy and they let you build your quads without sort of fatiguing your back or core like squats do. Really good for building volume in your legs. And calves, don't skip those, obviously. Also, one more thing, don't skip cardio, right? I know lifting weights is fun. We all like doing it. Well, most of us do. But if your body doesn't move, what was all that training for? Like, play a sport, run, cycle, even if it's just once a week. Like, something functional, something athletic, like it shows in your physique. Trust me. Like, you want to look like a weapon, not just a bench press merchant, okay? Look at Ronaldo. So that's aesthetics, that's performance. Like, he's lean, he's athletic, he's balanced, he's a machine, and his body actually works. Okay, so point number 3, how to eat for aesthetics. Let's not get it twisted or overcomplicate this. You need to get lean, okay? Leanness is what reveals your shape, okay? Your muscle belly separation, like your vascularity, like striations, that only shows at low body fat. You can have all the muscle in the world, but if it's covered in fluff and fat, no one's gonna see it. So how do you get lean? Calorie deficit. That's it. Start by figuring out your maintenance calories, your total daily energy expenditure. You can use an online calculator. That basically tells you how much energy your body needs just to stay the same weight. Then just subtract 300 to 500 calories from that number each day. That's your deficit. Be consistent, track your food, and remember, the scale isn't everything, okay? Photos and measurements are really important as well. I've spoken about this in my other video. I've done a full video on calorie deficit. So I'll link that below if you want to go deeper. But for now, just understand this, please. A lean body is an aesthetic body. Point number 4, recovery is where you grow. Here's probably something you haven't been told enough. You don't grow in the gym. Your muscles don't grow when you're there. You grow when you recover. And if your sleep, your diet, and your stress is out of control, I don't care how hard you train in the gym, you're spinning your wheels in the ground. You're not gonna go anywhere. And I learned this the hard way. When I was trying to train 6 days a week, eating like trash, and barely sleeping because of work and night shifts, the result, no energy, no gains, always tired. And honestly, I looked flat most of the time. I didn't look good. I didn't look in shape. And now I treat recovery like I do my training. I'm serious about it. I get 7 to 8 hours sleep minimum, blackout blinds, no late coffees, and I get rid of the phone half an hour before bed, okay? Rest days that are actually restful, all right? Not just skipping gym and binging Netflix until 2 in the morning. But this is the secret most guys overlook. And if you want to look aesthetic, start recovering like an athlete. Okay, point number 5, kill the all or nothing mindset. This one's going to hit home for a lot of people watching. Stop thinking you have to be perfect. That's what kills most guys before they even get started. You miss a workout, so you skip the rest of the week. You eat something off plan, so you go all out for the weekend. You gained a couple of pounds, so you just give up altogether. And I used to do this constantly, like one bad decision and I just throw in the towel. Yeah, you know what? I'll just take the rest of the day off. I just won't train for the next couple of days. Just telling myself, oh, I'll just, start again on Monday. But this is what changed everything, this mindset. Don't let one bad meal become a bad day, and don't let one bad day become a bad week, all right? You are not a robot, you're a human. Slip-ups are fine. It's just part of the process. But giving up isn't. That's not okay. Progress is made through consistency. And if you stack one good decision on top of another, day after day after day, that's how you go from overweight and insecure to being proud of your body, confident in your skin, and capable of helping and inspiring others. It's a really powerful thing once you get that in your head. Okay, point number 6. Get ruthless with your routine. Here's something that might sting. If you're not consistent, you're not serious. That means hitting your workouts, even when you're tired. It means prepping your meals, even when you're working late and it's inconvenient. It's saying no to another takeaway or a night out because you've got goals. And harsh truth, your physique is a reflection of your lifestyle. Like it or not, you don't need to be perfect. I know I'm not, but you do need to be ruthless with your routine, okay? Protect your time. I am deep into a cut right now, and I've just had a set of night shifts over the weekend. That's 13-hour shifts that are so taxing for your body and your mind. Your routine just gets flipped upside down, but I still found time to walk, to train, to prep my food. And not because it was easy or because I'm used to it, but because I decided that this matters more than the short-term comfort. And that's the difference between staying average and becoming aesthetic. Okay, so point number 7, the final point, become the type of person who can sustain it. This is the biggest one. So anyone can suffer their way to abs, okay? You crash diet, you overtrain, you burn out. I have literally done this myself, but building an aesthetic body that actually lasts and is sustainable, that takes identity change. And I've spoken about this in my last video, but the essence of it is this. You need to become the type of person who wants to eat well, who likes training, who chooses discipline over dopamine, who sees setbacks as just part of the process. And I remember sitting on my sofa years ago, Domino's box on my lap, full fat Coke in my hand, and watching Brad Pitt in Fight Club. And I didn't just admire the way he looked, I resented it. Because deep down, I knew I wasn't even trying. So I needed to stop being the guy who just admires other men's physiques and become the man who builds his own. And that's my message to you. You're not lazy, you're not stuck, you're not broken, but you do need to become someone different. And it starts today. It starts with one habit, one choice, one change. And if you're serious about building a physique that you're proud of, one that commands respect, one that radiates confidence, one that lets you wear the clothes you want, then just commit to the process. No shortcuts, no excuses. And if you want help building your own aesthetic program from the ground up, DM me work on Instagram. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.